Alright you guys, welcome back to the channel. Now today I wanted to make a video talking about my creative workspace for my photography and video production, of course, for this YouTube channel. Now, prior to having this setup behind me, I never really had a dedicated place to do my work. I would just take my laptop over to like a cafe or just do it on the kitchen table and whatnot. And so finally having my own dedicated space to just sit down, hone in on everything, and focus purely on creating content is honestly one of the biggest blessings that I've been able to come across in the last year or so. This is going to be my desk setup. It's not perfect, but throughout the video, as we are talking about the setup, I will be showing you guys some essential items that I do feel like make the overall creative process a lot more enjoyable. And if you are a videographer or photographer, I think this would resonate great with you guys. So sit back and relax, you guys. Here is my creative photography / video desk setup in 2021. Now, the way I wanted to design my desk was to be able to create and produce content like a machine. But I also wanted to keep things very minimalistic, so I did have some room to kind of move and shift things around and have various purposes for my desk. As you guys will see here in a little bit, the desk is on the smaller side, so being able to save space is absolutely essential, and that is going to be kind of the common theme throughout most of these essentials, that you'll know that it can save space and hide things pretty easily. And that leads us over into the base of our setup, the two Alex drawers from IKEA. Now, I got both drawers in white, and the reason why I chose this over something just like plain legs are because I do have a lot of photography / video gear. So there's a lot of batteries, a lot of different lenses, and just, weird gadgets that us photographers, videographers carry around. And so I wanted to have some storage to be able to put things away, organize them nicely, but still be able to have them at a hand's reach. So the IKEA Alex drawers were honestly a no-brainer for me. Now, sitting on top of the Alex drawers, I have the IKEA Linman desktop. And for the price, I honestly think it's one of the best deals out there. I paid about $22 for this size of desk, and the whole entire thing works perfectly in conjunction with the two Alex drawers. It's not the biggest desk at the moment, and I do want to somewhat in the future upgrade it, but it's sleek, it's very lightweight, and it just works really, really well for my purposes right now. Now, before we actually jump into the main segment of what's on top of my desk, I want to direct the attention over to this side over here where I keep all of my cameras / lenses. So I purchased this little rack from IKEA. I'm spacing out here. I don't know what the name of it is, but it's this nice little green rack. It's in this army green, olive green type of colorway. The rack even has some wheels so I can kind of move it around and place it in different areas. But for the most part, it always sits right next to the desk where I can view and also, grab some cameras if need be. Okay, so moving back over into the actual desk, on the top, the first thing you're going to see is a wooden desk shelf. And this is honestly the first essential. It's a game changer, and this is from a company called Grovemade. For those of you guys who don't know who Grovemade is a company based out of Portland, Oregon, and they handcraft some of the most beautiful products that fit on your productivity and work desks. And actually, they sent over a couple of products today that I am going to include in this video. And in no way are they sponsoring me or paying me to say good things about this. And so I'm going to give you guys my 100% honest review. So for starters, this desk shelf right here is honestly what makes this entire setup work. It has a beautiful walnut finish, it looks and feels premium, but most importantly, it's extremely functional. Apart from being able to put things up on the top shelf, it also provides me with some space to store my laptop, keyboard, and other accessories when they're not in use, which adds to the minimalistic approach that I'm going for. Floating over the shelf is my LG UK850 27-inch 4K monitor, which I am absolutely in love with. The display is perfect for photo and video editing, and it also has a very nice matte display for reduced reflection because I do get a lot of sunlight during the daytime. And as you guys can see, I have the monitor mounted on a desk mount, which allows me to maneuver and position the monitor in various different angles, which makes it very comfortable for video editing. Powering this monitor is my 2020 Apple MacBook Pro, which is connected through a singular USB-C cable. And what's great about this is that the monitor actually charges the laptop while it's in use, and having singular one cable USB-C connectivity to the monitor saves a lot of room and a lot of clutter. Holding my laptop is another product from GroveMade, and this is the vertical laptop stand in the walnut finish. This stand is so much nicer than some of the other ones I've had in the past, and what's really great is that it also has this kind of soft felt material to protect your computer from scratches. And so this is how my laptop is displayed about 50% of the time. It adds an extra aesthetic to the setup, but it's also extremely functional to have it vertically mounted for nice ventilation. Now, if I ever wanted to have a second display, the shelf allows me to place my other laptop stand on top of it, kind of at an adjusted height, so I could have this beautiful dual screen setup. Now, this is really helpful, especially when I'm editing video, because I like to have multiple windows open at all times just because I have to cycle through photos, videos, and so being able to have both screens ready to go makes my productivity overall much more seamless and makes my life a lot easier. Now, moving on over into the peripherals, the first thing that I did was I sectioned off my workspace with a wool felt desk pad. Now, this one right here is from GroveMade again, you guys, and it's super soft, and I really have no complaints. It's the perfect texture in my opinion. It works great with a mouse. If you guys were wondering, this is the medium size, and because this desk is pretty small, along with the riser, it actually fits perfectly in my opinion. And so they do offer other sizes, but this is the one that I went for just because I do have very limited space. Now, off to the right, I do keep a smaller leather mouse pad, and on top of that is my Logitech MX Master 2S. Now, the Logitech MX Master 2S is honestly my favorite mouse of all time. It's very comfortable, and if you are a photo or video editor and you need that precision, the MX Master 2S is not only comfortable, but it has a ton of features that allow you to increase your productivity. Personally, my favorite feature is the little scroll wheel here on the side, which makes kind of scrolling through your timeline on Final Cut Pro very quick. Now, as for my keyboard, I went with the Keychron K2 with brown switches. This is my first mechanical keyboard, and I'm not a keyboard junkie whatsoever, but it has been one of my favorite investments in the last year or so, just because it looks really good, has a nice kind of grayscale look to it. Now, sitting right under the keyboard is a wrist rest, which has a nice walnut finish, again with leather, just to overall tie in with the rest of the accessories on the desk. And as you guys guessed it, this was made by GroveMade. Now, what's funny is this was actually designed to be used with an Apple keyboard, but I went ahead and ordered the smaller size, and it fit perfectly right under the Keychron K2. It's not as long as it should be, but when you have it rested up here on kind of like this outer lip of the Keychron, it fits comfortably and it works actually really well. So this has been game changing for me, and it's been an accessory that I do feel like is essential because my wrists do end up hurting with how high the Keychron is just sitting flat. To the right of the desk, I also have this wooden coaster with probably one of my favorite pieces of this setup, the Fellow Carter Move Mug. Now, you guys know how much I love drinking coffee, and when I'm pumping out a video, I gotta stay focused, so I always have a cup of joe ready to go. But the problem is, with my regular mugs, the coffee tends to get cold pretty fast, and I don't really kind of just chug down my coffee at one time, and so I needed something that was going to keep my coffee warm and hot for longer. Enter in the Fellow Carter Move Mug. Now, Fellow did a great job with designing this sleek yet very functional product, and if you're a coffee drinker or even a commuter, this will hold your coffee super warm for very long. I remember pouring up a cup of coffee that I brewed, and 2 to 3 hours later, drinking it, it's still warm. I would highly recommend this product, and if you guys are coffee drinkers and if you drive long distances and you want to keep your coffee hot, the Fellow Carter Move Mug, definitely check it out. Now above my desk, I do have two pieces of artwork on the wall here. First, starting off with my silver YouTube play button, just to kind of set a reminder for myself as to why I'm doing this, as to, you know, some of the accolades that come along with being a YouTuber. And then to the right of that, we have a small little grid view map of San Francisco, my favorite city of the entire world. And overall, it just completes my kind of look and aesthetic here that I'm going for. So that pretty much is my entire desk setup. It's definitely not perfect, and it's far from that, but it works for what I do with it, and it honestly has been a game-changing experience to build. So I want to say huge thank you to GroveMate again for sending some of these items over, and just overall thank you guys so much for viewing and watching this channel. None of this would have been possible without you guys. So I want to turn the mic over to you guys and ask you really quick, what do you have on your desk setups? What are some essentials that you found in this video that maybe you would want to try out? Let me know, because I definitely want to hear more about that. But as for now, you guys, I will see you guys in the next one. As always, Minolta Gang. Whew.